Shalom, everyone. Welcome back. It's almost Shabbos. I'd like to share with you a few words about the Parsha, things that we can incorporate into our daily lives. There's an idea in the Talmud that if you find a Jew who is cruel, who's not kind at all, you should question their lineage. Are they really Jewish or not? Because it's so unusual for a Jew to be cruel. Very unusual. I remember years ago, I met a young man when I was a teenager, a fellow teenager of mine who was supposedly Jewish, who told me that he would go hunting with his father. And I asked him, "What do you hunt?" He said, "Animals. We go and shoot them. And then we take them home and we eat them." And I thought, "Ooh, that is disgusting. That's something that I can't even comprehend. Jews don't go hunting. Jews do not inflict pain and cruelty on animals such as hunting does. We slaughter our animals in a humane, painless way called shchita. But the idea of hunting, I never met a Jew in my life who was a hunter until this kid came along, and it turned out at the end he actually wasn't Jewish. But that was another story. So we know that in Jewish life there are many mitzvahs which are primarily of the nature of kindness. And they are the mitzvahs of bestowing kindness. And what are they? They are hachnasas kala, helping a bride and groom to make a wedding, to make sure that they have the proper things that they need, a dress, a hall, to help them out to do that. We know that there's halvayas hames, which is helping to make a funeral if someone can't afford. These days, certainly funerals can be very, very expensive. To help out to make a funeral and to provide the plot and all of the various things needed for that. There is Bikur Cholin, which is visiting the sick. We say that when we visit the sick, we actually help them to get better. We actually, by our visiting, help them to get better. And there are many other mitzvahs as well. Certainly, the mitzvahs of tzedakah, of charity, are certainly in all of their ramifications are aspects of kindness in a very great way. Um, Leaving portions of our field for the poor is also acts of kindness. Giving Meiser, 10% of our income to the temple in olden days, and today even giving Meiser for charity. 10% of our income after taxes is also an aspect of kindness. In the beginning of this week's Torah portion, we read another aspect of kindness, and that is called Hachnasas Orchim, which means receiving guests. How great and how important it is to have guests, to receive guests in our home, how important that really is. And we know that the children of Abraham, both the Jews and the Arabs, are very big into receiving guests. They say that if an Arab welcomes you into his home, as long as he's in his home, as long as he's in his tent, he provides everything for you. After he leaves it, he can kill you. But besides that, while he's there with you, they will do everything possible to make you feel comfortable and to feel welcome. Judaism believes very much in the idea of Hachnasas Orchim, and we display it in many ways by having guests over on Shabbos, by walking our guests to the door in a respectful way, and so on and so forth. So having guests is such an important thing. We see that when Abraham was in pain after his circumcision, God made it very, very hot that day so that he wouldn't have any guests, which would trouble him since he was in such pain. But God saw that not having guests caused him even more pain. So God sent three angels to visit him, and he was so happy to see them that he provided for them food and water and all kinds of things. And even while he was talking with God, he said to God, "Excuse me, but I have guests to attend to." So we see here that having guests is even more important than receiving the countenance of God's divine presence. How important it is to have guests and to receive guests. And even if there are no guests around, we should try to find guests and try to look for them. How important that is. This coming Shabbos is Shabbos San Diego, where Jewish people and synagogues and organizations all over the world will be celebrating Shabbos together, and through challah baking, and through programs on Shabbos and dinners, and we in Chabad University City are having many guests coming over to our homes for Shabbos, and then Saturday night we're having a big Malava Malka, At the synagogue, we're going to be having one of Israel's foremost journalists. Uh, Her name is Sivan Rachab Meir, very, very well known in Israel. She'll be speaking in English, I'm sure, about the election in Israel and about world politics and what's going on in the world. She's a religious woman, very, very well known. I've heard many, many things about her. People have been asking me about her. How did you get her? She's so famous and everything. So we're having that as well. We're going to be serving a light dinner that night. There is a charge for it, $30 a person to help defray the cost of this exceptional evening. You can either do it online, chabadyuseh.org, or you can do it at the door. But it should be an exceptional program. It will be at 8 o'clock this coming Saturday night at Chabad of UC. It'll be downstairs, so it's wheelchair accessible, and we hope to see you all there. Also, tonight, Friday night, we are having a special kids run Friday night service. It'll be a regular service, but the kids will be doing a lot of the service at the shul, and we'd like to encourage all the children to come. Parents bring their kids, and afterwards we have a beautiful kiddush for the kids with cookies and cake and candies and fruit roll-ups and all the good stuff that they love. So we hope you'll join us for that. That's at 5 o'clock this coming Friday night, which is tonight. Hope to see you all then. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos.